Is now 10:33 a.m. and I am calling to order this public roundtable of the Committee on Youth Affairs. Today's roundtable is on PR 26-0358, Director of the Child and Family Services Agency, Tanya Torres-Trice Confirmation Resolution of 2025. This is an important step in the committee's work to confirm a permanent director of the Child and Family Services Agency, or CFSA. CFSA carries out essential child welfare functions in the district, including facilitating foster care, supporting families so that they can stay together, and taking action when necessary to keep children safe. What's more, CFSA interfaces with numerous other vital agencies in the district, including MPD during certain investigations of abuses toward children, the Department of Human Services when connecting families to resources and support, and the Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services when engaging with crossover youth. To put it succinctly, this agency's responsibilities are weighty, often interacting with children and their families in some of the most serious and life-changing junctures. This means, by extension, that our committee's oversight of the agency is also weighty. It is for these reasons and more that I do not take the responsibility of the confirmation of a director for CFSA lightly. As we consider Acting Director Torres-Trice's confirmation today, I am heartened to say that it has been a pleasure to work with her over the last year. And everybody can attest to that. I've told the executive and my team that. She takes the responsibilities of CFSA seriously and has consistently engaged with my office and this committee in a responsive, thorough, and transparent way. When issues come up, Director Torres-Trice has proactively come to me and the committee to ensure the potential issues are worked through before they become a bigger problem. She has worked to make CFSA a trusted and reliable partner in the committee's efforts to improve child welfare in the District of Columbia. Acting Director Torres-Trice and I have discussed many of the success areas and needs for improvement that we believe will be addressed under her leadership. These include kinship caregiving, making sure that the kin who stepped up to care for their children are supported in the demands of caregiving, educational neglect, taking seriously, I'm going to repeat, taking seriously issues around chronic absenteeism and truancy so that young people are afforded every opportunity to succeed. Foster care, providing stable home environments for youth in the foster care system and ensuring robust support when they transition out of that system. Crossover youth, addressing the connections between the child welfare and our juvenile justice systems. How the agency is handling contracting, staffing, supervision, and essential reporting procedures, and so much more. Thank you to the neighbors, advocates, and stakeholders who are here today to testify or who have submitted testimony in writing. And I want you all to know that we do read your testimony. And so the record will remain open. If you have not submitted testimony, I invite you to do that by writing up to 2 weeks after today's roundtable. It is no small thing that today's testimonies includes more than 40 written submissions showing overwhelming support of Director Torres-Trice, which speaks volumes about her dedication to the children and families of the district and about her transparency and accountability to constituents. I am looking forward to today's conversations and taking these important steps in strengthening CFSA. All right, I will begin calling public witnesses. Before I invite our government witness, Acting Director Torres-Trice herself. Public witnesses will have 3 minutes to testify and government witnesses will have 10 minutes, but I have a feeling it will just be a rolling clock as we have a conversation and go through our planned questions. If testifying virtually when your name is called, a member of our staff will promote you from an attendee to panelist. You will drop out of the hearing momentarily and rejoin automatically, after which you will be able to come on camera and then take yourself off of mute. With that, we will now begin with our public witnesses. And I do want to acknowledge that there is another very important hearing happening right now with the Committee on Transportation and the Environment. they are having a hearing on a bill I introduced. So there may be a point in which I need to pause this hearing to run there just to say a few words and run right back. I promise that if that is necessary, it will be about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will resume today's hearing. But my key priority today is for this roundtable on Acting Director Tourist Trice's nomination. With that, I will begin calling our public witnesses. Cassandra Dodd, and if you're here in the chamber, you may come and take a seat. Uma Alawalia, Janine Hightower, Olivia Chase, John Davis, Dr. Bruce Purnell, Robert Matthews, Dr. Alger Studstill Jr., Deborah Giddens, who I believe is online, Christine Dupree, and we'll stop there since we filled up the desk. So I believe we have here Dr. Bruce Purnell, Robert Matthews, Dr. Alger Studstill Jr. That you? What's your name? John Davis, okay. So we have John Davis, Dr. Bruce Purnell, Robert Matthews, and then Christine Dupree online. I believe we have Janine Hightower and Deborah Giddens. And we will proceed. So with that, Mr. Davis, why don't you go first? And make sure you push the button so the red light shows. Yep. Yep.
Thank you, Council Member. It's a pleasure for me to be here today. To whomever is concerned, I am so grateful for such an opportunity to do this. Miss Torres Trice, Tanya Torres Trice, has really been inspirational in my life. Pastor John Davis, work a lot with Love More, Child and Family Services from Kim Ministries. She embodies integrity, something that it's hard for me to find. She embodies integrity, transparency, and genuine concern for others. From the moment I met her, I recognized a woman with character and grounded in strong values. She is a true servant leader, the kind who rolls up her sleeves and stands with the people, not above them. While still possessing the wisdom and intelligence to make the critical decisions that keep an organization thriving. Director Trice is the perfect balance, strong enough to lead with authority, yet compassionate enough to make space for the overlooked and the underserved. She remains focused and disciplined, but never so consumed by work that she misses the needs of those around her. From day one, she has offered nothing but encouragement, dedication, and unwavering commitment. She is exactly what CFSA needs, a stabilizing force through transition without fear, honoring what came before her while boldly shaping a meaningful forward-thinking goals of her own. I support her nomination as Director of DC Child and Family Services. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Next, we will have Dr. Bruce Purnell.
Good afternoon, Chairperson Parker, staff. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today regarding the confirmation of Acting Director Tanya Torres Trice and the future of Child and Family Services Agency. My name is Dr. Bruce Purnell, founder and executive director of the Love More movement. We're a grassroots, community-oriented nonprofit dedicated to creating holistic healing platforms, helping individuals and families recover from trauma, emotional pain, and toxic stress. Our programs include seniors offering unconditional love, soul, life coaching certification, transforming life coaches and healing leaders, and a cultural identity project called the Overground Freeway, all focused on fostering intergenerational healing and community transformation. I come before you not only as a practitioner, but also a sixth-generation Washingtonian with family roots in the city dating back to the late 1830s. My lineage holds stories of resilience, resistance, liberation, and love. These stories have taught me a vital truth. Our children inherit not just our history, but also our healing and also our unhealed pain. We often celebrate the butterfly without acknowledging the caterpillar's struggle, brilliance, and courage. Our mission is to ensure that our children inherit the whole legacy of transformation, not just the burden of trauma. To do that, we need to establish strong, deliberate pathways to heal, not just routes that manage harm or punish vulnerability. That is why I strongly support Acting Director Trice's leadership. Director Trice offers a progressive, asset-based approach that aligns closely with what communities have been asking for. Stop suppressing negatives and instead develop systems that recognize strengths, restore dignity, and support families before crises turn into disasters. She exemplifies this through her integrity, extensive knowledge of child welfare systems, bold strategic vision, and relentless dedication to ensuring that the most underloved and undervalued people in our city receive the support, not surveillance, they deserve. Her leadership is already transforming the culture of CFSA from welfare to wellness, from punishment to partnership, and from surviving to thriving. She understands that if we want different results, we must create a different ecosystem. One of the most impactful initiatives under her leadership is the Warm Line, a visionary approach designed to keep families together by providing a place to seek help without fear of being treated as a case file or under investigation. This marks a historic paradigm shift and it is effective. Families are calling, families are receiving help, families are staying together. This marks a major shift from the agency's traditional view of as a social police force, where families worried that any conflict could lead to separation. We've known for years that this mindset needed to change, but we lack the connection of someone brave enough to challenge the status quo and create enough to turn vision into structure, implementation, accountability, and community partnership. Director Trice is strengthening that bridge. She is building the infrastructure with clarity, courage, lived experience, partnership, and cross-agency leadership. And she is doing it not as a bureaucratic exercise, but as a moral commitment to keeping DC families together. As a community partner deeply invested in healing, transformation, and family preservation, I'm excited to walk alongside CFSA under her leadership. Together, we are redefining the blueprint, not just for service delivery, but for how a government agency can embody love, equity, and possibility. In conclusion, I want to express my full confidence in Acting Director Trice. Her leadership is exactly what this moment calls for. Her vision is what our families deserve, and her confirmation is crucial to supporting this bold and essential movement. Let us not only confirm her, but stand with her as we choose love, joy, and healing, forgiveness, and wellness, transformation, and the sacred work of keeping DC families together. Thank you for your time.
Next, we have Mr. Robert Matthews. Welcome back.
Yeah, interesting being on this side of the. I haven't taken questions, but I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely, you may begin.
Hey, Director, how are you? Team CFSA, y'all didn't give me the colors for today, but that's okay. I want to write to express my unequivocal support for the confirmation of Ms. Tanya Torres Trice as Director of the District of Columbia's Child and Family Service Agency, CFSA. As CFSA's director from 2021 to 2024, I had the privilege of working closely with Ms. Torres Trice, who served as my chief of staff. Based on more than 2 decades of her dedicated service in child welfare, and most of it with CFSA, I can attest to her exceptional qualifications, judgment, and commitment to children, youth, and families in the district. Ms. Torres Trice's professional trajectory reflects a deep, hands-on understanding of the work. She began her career as a social worker and distinguished herself by specializing in and leading initiatives for older youth in foster care, a population that requires both sophisticated practice skills and steadfast advocacy. Her leadership as Assistant Deputy Director overseeing placement, foster parent recruitment, and licensing ensured the district maintained an adequate and responsive placement array to support children and youth with diverse needs. She understands the operational, clinical, and human dimensions of placement, what it takes to recruit, license, and sustain foster families, how to balance safety and permanency, and how to ensure youth are not merely placed, but supported. As Chief of Staff, Ms. Torres-Trice brought that same clarity and rigor to the agency's fiscal and strategic operations. She led CFSA's budget process with disciplined stewardship of both local and federal dollars, strengthening the agency's fiduciary accountability while protecting critical services. During the pandemic and its aftermath, when the district forced directives for deep budget cuts, Ms. Torres-Trice navigated extraordinarily challenging conditions. Her steady leadership helped CFSA meet fiscal targets without losing sight of the mission. Because of her judgment and resolve, families and youth continue to receive essential support despite unprecedented pressures. When I selected my chief of staff, I chose someone I believe could step in as director at any moment, under any circumstance. Ms. Torres-Trice proved time and time again that she is exactly that leader, calm in crisis, decisive when difficult choices are required, and unwaveringly focused on outcomes for children and families. She has the empathy and heart essential to caring for the most vulnerable, paired with the managerial skill, policy knowledge, and systems understanding necessary to lead a complex public agency. Ms. Torres-Trice also exemplifies integrity and collaboration. She respects frontline expertise, engages community partners, and works transparently with oversight bodies. She insists on data-informed decisions while never losing sight of lived experiences of children, youth, and caregivers. That balance of head and heart, of mission and management is precisely what CFSA needs in its director. For all these reasons, I strongly urge the council to confirm Ms. Torres-Trice as Director of Child and Family Service Agency at this December 11, 2025 confirmation hearing. The district will be well served by her leadership, and the children, youth, and families will benefit from her experience and judgment. Thank you for your consideration.
Now, Mr. Matthews, you were a little over time,
Oh,
but we let the clock keep running. But thank you for your testimony. Christine Dupree. And then next we'll go to our virtual guest.
Good morning, Chairperson Parker and staff. My name is Christine Dupree, and I serve as the Partner and Development Director of the Edgewood Brooklyn Family Support Collaborative. Today, I am providing testimony to endorse the confirmation of Ms. Tanya Torres-Trice as the Permanent Director of the DC Child and Family Services Agency. Founded in 1996, EBFSC is part of the citywide network of the Healthy Families, Thriving Communities Collaboratives. This network was designed to leverage the strengths of each community while ensuring that programs and services respond to local needs. From the beginning,